Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
What's happening, man? Pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you too, Joe. Thanks for having me on. Pleasure to be here.
How old are you?
I'm 12. 12 and a half.
Amazing. When did things really start popping for you?
I mean, they haven't popped off yet, Joe. We're a new YouTube channel called Bobby and Steve. We got a few subscribers, but we haven't really popped off yet. I'm really hoping that we get some traction with your help.
It's not an exaggeration. You're oh, that's so crazy. Why would you kill that cute little squirrel that was obviously a pet and trained from the time it was a baby?
Joe, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't kill any squirrels. I'm not a squirrel killer. I don't know why you're accusing me on national television right here, but I didn't kill any squirrels.
How long does it have to sit in your mouth for?
Well, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't know if that's appropriate for this episode. I mean, I'm 12 years old, and I think that's adult-only content, so I think we should skip that question, Joe.
Well, why not?
Oh, you're talking about jailbreaker or jawbreaker?
What is it?
So, jawbreaker, I think, is on average takes 7 minutes and 24 seconds to melt so that you don't break your jaw.
Whoa.
But, Jamie, can you pull that up? How long does it take a jawbreaker? How long do you suck on it so that it doesn't hurt your jaw? Oh, it's 6 minutes and 24 seconds. Sorry, Joe, I was off by a minute.
Had you ever wielded a sword before? Did you have to learn how to do all those moves?
Yeah, so I've been wielding a sword to practice for becoming a gladiator.
Holy shit.
Because I'm going to be in Gladiator 3, and I also want to try out for the UFC when I turn 18.
Whoa.
So yeah, I've been practicing. Well, they don't have swords yet, but I've been practicing at home with my sword. Grandpa Steve's not happy about that, but I think I'm getting pretty good, and in a couple of years I'll be ready.
You were playing Braddock. Did you smoke all through the training?
So yeah, Joe, I'm not old enough to smoke. I'm not sure if you're referring to cigarettes or weed, but Grandpa Steve, he smokes weed.
Every day. He was smoking weed constantly.
But yeah, I don't think it's good to smoke. It's bad for your lungs.
Did you have any experience boxing as a young man?
Well, Joe, I'm still a young man right now, to be honest, and
Aww.
so boxing is again, I'm learning. I want to be in the UFC one day, and I know you're a big fan of the UFC, and so maybe you can help promote me when I'm ready. But I think I gotta be 18 first.
What do you enjoy? Do you enjoy one thing more, or do you enjoy both things?
I enjoy both things, Joe. I enjoy a lot of things. I like archery. I like bees. I like interesting smells. What else do I like? I like candy. I like movies. You know, a lot of normal kid stuff. I like climbing trees. My mom says it's dangerous, but I try not to go up too high.
That's not a bad thing.
There's a lot of things out there that I like. That's a pretty broad question, Joe. Maybe you got something more specific.
Before I forget this, the people that are into this smelling salt stuff, they're power lifters, and they take a big sniff of that stuff before they lift weights. Why would that help them?
You know, I think it kind of, wakes them up or something. I think pepper might be more useful, but then they sneeze it out, so they had to switch to salt. So when I talk to a lot of bodybuilders, they put the needle in the butt and they sniff the salt. So that's how they do it.
Fortunately, that's just the thing when people are supposed experts in a subject and someone comes along that's also been studying it, but from an untraditional perspective, people reject that.
Yeah, I get that a lot because I'm a true expert in a lot of things, and there's a lot of phonies out there.
Unfortunately, I agree with you.
And yeah, it's tough, Joe. Everybody on the internet thinks that their opinion is fact, but I do a lot of research and I get my facts straight, and they're
so that's a net positive.
I get it. They're trying to do the right thing. They think they know what they're talking about, but they're not an expert like me.
That's an interesting thing too. We've talked about that before, but for people who've never heard those other podcasts, they've determined that the Amazon rainforest is at least partially man-made.
Yeah, so Amazon rainforest is, I can confirm that, Joe, that the Amazon rainforest is man-made, because my grandpa Steve was part of building it.
That's nuts.
Back in the, 30, 40, 50 years ago, I don't know the exact time period, Joe, but my grandpa Steve went down to the Amazon and helped build the rainforest.
He went down there because he had a pill problem.
So it's a big conspiracy theory that people think it's natural, but he was a logger, and he he logged on to the Amazon and he built the forest. He logged on and that's what he did. He was strong back then. He's kind of tired now, not as strong as he was, but it was a lot of work, and they didn't pay him that well. It was kind of sad, but that's it. That's the thing. It's people say it's conspiracy, but that's facts.
Why is that so crazy for us? Why is that so alien?
When you find out the real facts, then you don't have a conspiracy anymore. You know that, Joe?
Unfortunately, I agree with you.
So yeah, I can confirm that my grandpa Steve helped build the Amazon.
Well, isn't it just like part of the gig? Like here's a for instance, like your bit about Puffy.
Yeah, so I don't know if I call it a bit, Joe. We did an episode on Diddy, but I don't know if it's funny anymore. He did some really dark stuff, and
We lived together once for a while.
yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be covering around a lot of Puffy or Diddy or any of that stuff anymore.
You think it's over?
Yeah, I think it's over for Diddy. I think he's going down into the slammer.
It's over as he gets a cell right next to R. Kelly?
Yeah, I don't know. If it was me, I'd stay as far away as I can from R. Kelly.
Well, why not?
He likes to pee a lot. It gets a little messy, so I'd probably try and get a different cellmate.
What is that? Is it accountability? Is it that we're now influenced by so many different people? Is it like a lot of it is just more bullshit? Like people can't just say what they really think?
Yeah, Joe, things are tough these days because everybody wants to speak their mind, but nobody wants to hear people speak their minds.
I've kind of seen it with some people.
So, I think you should just say what you mean, Joe. Like, don't be afraid to get canceled. You got the biggest podcast in the world, so it's kind of hard to cancel you, I think.
I don't think anybody should be able to tell you what you can and can't do.
Unless you really believe in, like, mass murdering people and stuff, some really dark stuff that you should probably keep to yourself. I think you're okay, just speak your mind. I tell you like it is.
How much of that What's Up Motherfuckers was affected by the fact that you have all those brothers?
Yeah, well, I actually have one brother, but it's tough. You try and be your own man, and he tries to put you down.
But I don't have that problem.
It's like the man putting you down, and it's tough having a brother, but sometimes it's good, looking out for you.
I don't agree with that.
But yeah, Joe, I get what you're saying. I don't know how many brothers you have. Sounds like you had a lot, but don't let them keep you down, Joe.
Here's the thing. I don't think you can create a Jim Morrison. You need to have a guy who's that guy. But Jim Morrison's dad was like a federal agent. Isn't he in the CIA as well?
I don't know if he was in the CIA, but they probably wouldn't disclose that information to you if he was.
It's been held back from us.
And if they did, then they're probably doing a fake out on you. They're not going to tell you, Joe.
It was in the middle of a conspiracy to deliver subliminal messages through the popular music. So that was the TV show?
Yeah, so I like to deliver subliminal messages to our audience too, like, give me money, give us the money, give us the money. And, that's actually smart. If you want your audience to do something, then you want to deliver, like, a subliminal message. So it depends what you want your audience to do. It's not about tricking them. It's about getting them to do what you want them to do.
That's not a bad thing.
If you need them to do it. And me and Grandpa Steve, we need some money to get the things we want to buy.
Could have redlined his heart. He's 80 years old doing crank.
I think you got a little bit off, Joe. Grandpa Steve, he is 80 years old, but he doesn't do crank. I think he just smokes weed.
I've seen him with one kid who was just like smoking a ton of weed and just lost his mind.
I think crank's a little too intense for his heart at his age.
No, I think it's probably dangerous for you.
But you might enjoy having Grandpa Steve on and doing some doobies with him because he's a cool doobie. He's a cool dude who likes to do doobies.
Check my right arm.
I'm not a doctor, Joe, so I don't know. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I am a doctor, so I could check your right arm. Take it back.
Well, why not?
But for your own medical privacy, we should probably do it offset. When the cameras are off, because I want to make sure we keep your data secure.
I got a tattoo today just in case. If I inside myself, I didn't. I was whacked.
Joe, don't do that. You have a lot to live for, Joe. You got a family. You got a great podcast. If you're struggling with your mental health, then you should sign up for BetterHelp. They have helped thousands of patients. They're one of our sponsors for our channel. And if you need help with BetterHelp, use promo code betterhelp.com/BobbyandSteve for 10% off your first session of therapy.
I think a lot of people would benefit from it.
It's a great service, Joe. I highly recommend it.
Do we have to watch this? Can I see it first to decide?
Yeah, Joe, I just wanted to show you a short clip from our channel. You don't gotta be rude. Like you brought us on, and I thought I'd just show you a little clip from Bobby and Steve. I really think you'll enjoy it if you like good comedy.
I think that might be a statue. Is that a statue or a dude?
Joe, it could be a dude and a statue. It could be a dude or a statue. I really don't know why that's important, though. Do you want a statue of yourself one day?
How would would you get all the parents to do it? Would you get the social media companies to do it? Like, how would you?
Yeah, it's tough to get them to do what you want. I wanted to end all homework for children, and I wanted to give everyone free ice cream, and I wanted to make sure that kids had rights to, like access to guns, and
But you can't go out and get yourself some mushrooms. That's just crazy.
Alcohol and all the things that adults enjoy, kids should have too, whether they're good or bad for themselves. They get to decide, because me and Grandpa Steve, we're part of the Libertarian Party, and we believe in personal freedoms.
I think if you want to do BMX jumps and fucking do flips on your bike, you should be allowed to do it. You want to do jiu-jitsu and have grown men try to kill you? Go ahead, go do it.
We should be able to do what we want. We're librarians.
What's the root of that progress?
So we made a lot of progress in the last few years on this matter, but the root of the progress is probably people like you and me, Joe. We're pushing for change.
What if that is the fix?
We're big change merchants. We bring it to the people and get the people what they want.
Do we know what caused it to go down?
Yeah, a lot of things can cause it to go down, like if they sell all the coins and the crypto crashes, that's how it goes down. If the stock CEO, he goes to jail, then the stock goes down. It's pretty simple, Joe. Lots of things go down when crap goes down.